Hi friends, welcome back. I am DJ Montague. Today we're going to be talking about the Paladin leveling route. And I've just put out a video about the leveling route as any class, but specifically this is for Paladin, what skills you'll take and where you want to put your skill points to make the leveling experience a little bit easier for you and potentially your party if you are doing it in a party. So let's get right into it. Movie magic. All right, friends, so I have done the leveling experience on the beta several times over now. I've done it on Russia, I've done it on Japan, I've done it on Korea. I could tell you with firm certainty as a Paladin player that these are the skills that you want to take and make your leveling experience a lot easier. You want to go fast and you want to make it so that you're just breezing through the content easier. The first 8 skills that we have, 7 of them are kind of weak. Now, the 8th one we get though, Godsent Law. That's one of our best AoE clear abilities. We want to make sure that we have at least one really good AoE clear on our bar and one good damage skill for boss killing. So when leveling and you're looking at efficiency, your best thing to put points into in the very beginning of the game when you hit your first level is going to be Light of Judgment. Put 4 points into it, take the damage tripod on that one, make it a little bit easier to get a good wave clear. And another tip for when you're leveling in Lost Ark, of the 8 skills on your bar, you want to have at least 4 points into all of them to increase the damage in the skill to actually be worth the button press. You don't want to overload one skill and then have 7 skills that are really weak, that aren't really getting you through content. So that's kind of going to be our first aim, is to make sure that every button that you press is worth it and efficient and quick. The first one we definitely want to put points into is Godsent Law for AoE clearing. That's the big one. The next one we want to put points into is something, a skill called Punishment. Now, Punishment is going to be one of our first boss killing moves that we get after the first dungeon. Now, it's going to make your boss killing process a little easier. It is a head attack skill, so you want to be in front of the monster, doing head attacks on it for extra damage. Godsent Law, you can be anywhere to do damage with that one, so those are your first 2 primary skills that I like to think of as a Paladin player. The next skill you start getting that has really good AoE clear but has a long cooldown is Wrath of God. It is an AoE lightning skill that is pretty strong. You want to at least put 4 points into that. You can either take the wider AoE or the crit. It's kind of a toss-up, either one of you want there, but again, put 4 points into that. The next skill that we really are interested in is Dash Slash. Now, Charge is our only movement skill in the beginning that gives us any sort of quick movement. I put 4 points into that, and I take the longer range on it so that I can press charge and then dash cancel the recovery animation of it, so I can keep going quickly through the content. Dash Slash is a very similar idea. 4 points into that will give you a 15% more move speed while using it, and it's about 2-second cast time, so 2 seconds of increased movement over the course of 13 hours. You're going to be using that skill quite a bit, and it's pretty useful. And you're not really using it for damage, you're using it to reposition on bosses because it is a back attack. So you want a Punishment in the beginning, Dash Slash, get around to the back attack with that, then something like Charge, and then your AoE abilities if you're doing boss killing or just moving through content in general. I think it's a really good skill for leveling quickly. The next skill that we kind of care about is Executor's Sword. Very similar to Punishment, it is a head attack skill. It does decent damage. If you put more points into it, it does quite a bit of damage. But right now, we don't have the skill points at level 24 to really do something like that. So I don't even really worry about like the efficiency of Executor's Sword versus Punishment. Like I said, I really just want to keep Punishment on my bar. The main abilities that I have on my bar at this point that are important at level 24 are going to be Dash Slash, Wrath of God, Godsent Law, Charge, and Punishment. So I wouldn't worry too much about Executor's Sword because again, we don't have the skill points to really boost something up like that. Next we get is Holy Protection. Not a big deal there. Don't worry about it unless you're playing with a party. And in general, if you're playing with a party, you're gonna be going really fast anyway because content is pretty easy through the leveling process. The next one we get that you would want to switch something out for is Execution of Justice. You at least want to get 4 points in Execution of Justice for sure. I do enjoy having it on my bar. I think it's a great skill for not only PvE, but PvP as well. And this is where stuff starts to switch up. Now, I've talked about the leveling process on my other video, and I will touch on it in just a few moments, but Holy Explosion is one of our best AoE clears, also a very, very, very good damage skill with the right tripods. Now, I would exchange all the points that I have in Godsent Law and max out Holy Explosion at this point because of how strong it is in AoE and for boss killing content. Now, I'll show 2 tripods on the screen for this as well. So one of them being a preset that I use for number 1 for just AoE clears, and then number 2, when I get to a boss, I switch to that preset and start doing damage as a single target explodey kind of build. The last skill we end up getting through leveling is Holy Sword. Holy Sword replaces punishment immediately. You take all your points out of punishment, get it off your bar, throw it in the dumpster, don't ever use it again. I'm just kidding. It's an okay skill. But Holy Sword is far superior in almost every way. It is a head attack skill. It does a ton of damage. It has great wave clear if you give the right tripods. Like I said, it's a fantastic skill. I use it in both builds for boss killing and for AoE clearing. There's a way to make it work for AoE clearing as well. I also use it in the Chaos Dungeon, but that's a whole separate video. So once you get to level 40, the build kind of completes itself. The skills I take at level 40 to make it easier for myself to clear waves and also do boss content at the same time is Flash Thrust, Charge, Light of Judgment, Wrath of God, Dash Slash, Execution of Justice, Holy Explosion, Holy Sword. That's the particular build I use for solo content. It could be very well a lot different for something else. If you're leveling with a gunslinger and you're looking for speed, you want to put more points in a Dash Slash because they're going to be so far ahead of you. They're going to be doing content you're not even caught up to yet. They, on average, could do the entire storyline about an hour to 2 hours faster than everybody else can because of how much movement they have. So this is 4 skill ordering, and I just wanted to get a video out there to help you guys play Paladin efficiently in the leveling process. A lot of skills are trap skills, and they end up being good later on in other content. Something like Light Shock is just not going to be a skill that you take moving into level 40 to 50 content. There are better takes there. Execution of Justice is probably the primary one where I would take over that. And even if I wanted more AoE clear than Holy Explosion, Godsent Law is just like infinitely better than Light Shock. Light Shock is for something that we do in raid content. Like it has the chance to permanently keep up Stigma, which is 10% damage, so we don't worry about that here. Like, we just want to clear through AoE packs quickly and get through boss fights as fast as possible. Get to level 50 so you can get into endgame content. Next, to give you guys a quick rundown, I have done the reverse ordering of the leveling process. Now, I did it in about 13.5 hours on Paladin, which is quite fast, a little bit faster than the other times I've leveled on Paladin. This was my 3rd time trying the reverse ordering of the leveling experience, and I can tell you every time it's getting quicker and quicker and quicker. I could probably shave that down to about 13 hours and get to content and endgame content extremely quickly. So I'll give you guys a quick rundown of the leveling process. Only do storyline quests for the most part. Rethramis, Udia, West Lutera, East Lutera, all storyline quests only. Go up to North Vern with your little boat, set a Bifrost point at North Vern or a Song of Return. If you're a Paladin, I highly suggest you keep your Song of Return at East Lutera because you will be going back there for an awakening. But North Vern, set your Bifrost point there, finish a bunch of quests up to the point where you get the level 50 gate, then go to Arthatine. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but if you know where to manage your skill points, you can make it pretty easy. You have enough damage through skill points to get through that in the reverse ordering, so don't worry too much. It might be difficult for newer players, but if you're a new player, just do the normal one, I would say. This is a harder route because these monsters are level 45, when you're going into this content, so I wouldn't exactly do it if you're a brand new player, you've never played Lost Ark before. Don't do that route. It's very difficult, and you got to know where to put your skill points. You got to know where to level, how to do what you're doing. But I kind of go through that in the other video. So next we have Annika, Tortoise Last. You can do it in about 13.5 hours and get through all that content. Then use your Bifrost point, go back to Northburn and finish out your content. Get your dailies started in about 13.5 hours. If you have another player with you, if you have something like a gunslinger, a blade, to do quick AoE clears, you can probably shave it down to even like 11.5 hours, because gunslingers, devil hunters, or deadeyes are very fast at going through content, and they have great AoE clear. So thank you guys for checking out this video. I hope you enjoy it. Paladins are awesome. If you have any questions about Paladin, I both do PvP and PvE. I do as much as I can. I love the class, I love the experience, and I love Lost Ark. So ask away. Make sure you like and subscribe, comment, do all that fun stuff. I really appreciate you guys. Also, check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJ Montague. I stream for about 30 to 40 hours every week, so if you're looking at getting a live experience of Paladin play, please come by. I answer a lot of questions, or I'm doing PvP and you can ask questions about that. I have a wealth of knowledge. Thank you. Have a good one. Peace.